Hello everybody, and today I'm giving you a video of my ramp extension for my car hauler toy hauler. Now before I get into the ramp extension, for those of you that don't understand or don't know what beaver tails and dovetails are, which they're the same thing, beaver tails and dovetails are ramp extensions that extend into the trailer. The last 4 to 6 feet of your trailer floor are at an angle, normally at the same angle that your ramp is going to be in when you let your ramp out to make your vehicles easier to load into your trailer. Low vehicles that sit low to the ground, like sports cars like Corvettes, or your race cars or drag bikes. Without the beaver tail or dovetail, they would tend to get hung up where the floor of the trailer meets the ramp. Makes an angle where they meet at. They tend to get hung up right there, so that's the main purpose of beaver tails and dovetails. But the problem that I have with beaver tails and dovetails is with the last 4 to 6 feet of your trailer floor being at an angle. It's kind of hard to put stuff on the end of your trailer. Anything that's on wheels is going to tend to want to roll out your trailer, and even things that are not on wheels are going to tend to slide or try to tip over, since your trailer floor last 4 to 6 feet is at an angle. So I opted out of the beaver tail, and instead I fabbed my own ramp extension. And what you're looking at now is a crucial part of the ramp extension. These are called door risers. Now my door risers are made of 2.5 inch square tubing and 1.5 by 1 inch square tubing and 1/8 inch sheet metal plate and gusset to make my door risers strong and tight. And my door risers are bolted through the outside skin into the frame of the primary door, so it's plenty of strong. You can also see the rubber stops that I bolted onto my door risers in about the original position that they came in. Now my door risers are non-adjustable, but the length is, they're cut to a specified length to keep the pitch on the ramp door and the ramp extension at a certain pitch, so that whatever you're loading in there, so that it doesn't hang up. My door risers. So let's get a closer look on inside at the actual extension itself. Now, my ramp extension, as you can see here, this is the undercarriage underneath. This brace here is made of the same material as what the door is made out of. 1.5 by 1 inch square tubing, 14 gauge, and it has the same exact spacing as what's in the actual door, the ramp door, and it's made to carry the weight of a car. This plate that you see here on the very end, and this folds over, the end of this plate here actually rests on the metal part of the door, so it can hold the weight of the car on the ramp extension or the door itself and be plenty of strong. So it's not wood, it's actually metal on top of metal. Up towards the front of my brace here, you can see that the end of the tips of my brace are made into feet. You see there up close. Here. It's cut at an angle so that when I let the ramp extension out, it holds the plywood pretty close to the ground. It looks like it's on the ground, but it's not. It's the feet here that I made out of the brace to hold it up so that the plywood isn't actually on the ground. It can't just be flat all the way to the end because it'll have a step, and you have to roll over the plywood, which would weaken the plywood. That's why it's cut at an angle and made into a foot here. Out here, you can see it's unpainted. This is a latch pin set up so that you take this pin when the ramp extension is shut. You put the pin in right here, and it goes all the way through. I can raise it some for you to get a look and see what it is when it's separated. This latch pin, you put a latch pin in on one side or both sides so that the ramp extension doesn't swing inside the trailer when the door's shut. Now, I also have a handle, a grab handle on each side. Now, even though I have handles on each side, one person can open and close the ramp extension. Let's see if I can let the extension all the way out. See, you get a closer look there. Now the plywood is really close to the ground. It just barely touches. There's no pressure on the plywood itself. All of it's going to be on the foot there. Now this is my grit tape, as you can see here. I mean, you can see the use on it. It's got normal wear and tear on it, about 2 years worth. The grit tape is a must so that you don't slip and fall while walking up or going down the ramp. I do have this is what it looks like when you order it. I have an extra roll to make repairs on individual strips or sections as needed. The hinge here, this is a crucial part. I replaced my original hinge, which was a 2-inch all aluminum hinge, with this heavy duty 3-inch stainless steel hinge, and also oversized stainless steel bolts all the way across. Now I do sweep off my ramp extension and my ramp, sweep the grit tape off real good before we're ready to leave the track, so that the door will close properly and I can put the latch pin through it. Now, since I've added weight to the door with this ramp extension, I did tighten my ramp door spring some to help make the door easier to close. You can look and see right here, right on the very end of my trailer, my toolbox, right on the very end of the trailer, so that now I do work. Sometimes I do work in my trailer when I'm at the track and at home. I can reach into my trailer and grab tools and put tools back into my toolbox without actually coming up the ramp. That's not happening with a beaver tail. Well, you could, but it'd be a lot tougher with it. Everything's sitting at an angle. And that's it. Ramp extension.